When I started out my culinary career, you start experimenting a little bit and you go back. It's all about your identity, your national identity, your personal identity, your family identity, and it sort of fuses, and somehow Spam is there.
Spam, 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 spam. Hormel's new miracle meat in a can. Saves time, tastes fine. To eat something grand, ask for Spam.
It was during World War II where it gained international prominence because it became part of the American military rations. And so wherever American soldiers went, they probably had Spam with them. And the places where you find Spam popular are places where the American military had major presence: Hawaii, Guam, Okinawa, parts of Japan, Philippines, and Korea.
This pretty much saved the Korean people for a certain duration until we got on our feet. So it's basically food aid, and it's tinged with, I think, a certain amount of sadness, in why that came to be, why we have Spam. But the resiliency of Korean people they've taken something that was so foreign, and then they were able to assimilate it and sort of make it make sense in their cuisine.
If you think about American restaurants, the only time you will see Spam in an American restaurant is if the restaurant is Filipino or Korean or something of that ilk.
Sometimes when people come in and they've never had Filipino food before for brunch, and they'll say, "What should I have?" We will never recommend Spam. There's so much on the menu that I want them to try before Spam, I don't want it to define the cuisine. But Spam has always been on the menu at f.o.b, and I battle with myself constantly. Every time I tweak the menu or change the menu or we reprint the menu, I always want to take it off. But there are some people who like it, who love it, and they come in, and they're Filipino.
If you think Spam is just a sandwich meat, you're wrong.
We have an entire dish dedicated to the presence of U.S. military in Korea in the form of budae-jjigae, which is the army stew. It's basically a sort of a mishmash of kimchi stew with chunks of Spam floating in it, and then it gets topped with American cheese. But what people are shocked by here at INSA is the fact that we make our own Spam, that it doesn't come from the can. As K-pop gets bigger, the younger generation has more power. They're like, who cares about the history of it? It just tastes good.
And maybe even a few years ago, you said Spam, and everybody kind of, oh. Now they're kind of yeah. Okay, I'll try it.
This interesting use of Spam in Asian American cuisine is a real contribution to American food because there's something quirky and yet meaningful to these Asian Americans who, by consuming Spam, is really embracing their histories and experience and their legacy as Asian Americans.